So let's have a drive. So, got most of the things sorted out with the car now. Only doing some small adjustments with the idle control. So I have closed loop idle. Daniel activated that for me. That's using ignition and throttle body. So, but I think I will put it just back to only throttle body control, because I'm using very low throttle positions. So sometimes it's just 0.3 to 0.4% when I'm driving in a 30 to 50 kilometer zone. And then if you have your activation of your idle control also that low or almost to zero, it will feel that the car is going on and off. So it's going in idle control, or you're just giving throttle position. So the space in between is very small, and if you have ignition lock on, then you will feel it also when the car is cold now. So, and I had an issue with the overrun fuel cut. So that means when you go off throttle, the car will shut off the injectors. So if, for example, you're running 2000 RPM and you're shutting off your you close your throttle body and your idle is 800 RPMs, it will drop down until your setting you have that it can drop with your overall fuel cut. So I had it before like 1800 RPMs or 1600 RPMs. But when you then have ignition lock, and that will also be activated, it will give 12 degrees of timing after top dead center to drop the power out of the engine. So what you have then is the same as a crackle map. So it will give some ignitions that you hear in the fuel ignitions in the exhaust. I don't personally. Some people like it. I don't like it. So I didn't want that. So we are now trying to find the best way to have the idle control set up and done. So that's one thing. For the rest, the car is driving very good. Temperatures are all good, and yeah, the controls are fine. Suspension works perfect. Also the sport setting, so I set it a little bit harder on the soft setting and on the hard setting. So that works also pretty good. I got my speedo working and my fuel economy meters are also working, and I need that to work because I don't have the old fuel tank meter in the car, because I don't have really space for it, because I had a different dash. So I have a virtual fuel tank in it. So this fuel tank in these cars is 60 liters, and if you can measure your fuel economy correctly, then it can tell you how much fuel you have left. So that needs to be good, otherwise you're without fuel. So at the moment I have, so what's very important with that is that you have your injector settings correct. On this car I have put them in like I got from when they are new. I got an that timetable and the injector flow, so it's all filled in. And also your speedo needs to be calibrated correctly. So that was a little bit of a hassle, because my speedo didn't give the right amount of speed. So it showed in the beginning not enough speed. So when I was driving like 120, I was always driving 130. So I had a, yeah, I was using much more fuel than I thought I was using. So now it's pretty correct. And I also have then my fuel consumption gauge is now giving 13.7 liters on 100 kilometers. That's 1 on 7.5, and that's in-house driving, so it's not freeway driving. So I think it's pretty good. So yeah, it's still, yeah, I don't, the fuel economy is not really important in this car, but it's nice that you can drive like 400 to 500 kilometers on a fuel tank. That's pretty nice. So for the rest, yeah, the tuning went pretty good. We had 150 to 150 horsepower and 100 Newton meters more than I expected to get. So I was aiming for the stock power of E55 AMG, and that went much more over that. I was really surprised. Not only me, also Daniel from the Dyno was really surprised that on 95 octane you can still run 0.95 to 1 bar of boost and hitting 860 Newton meters at the crank. That's massive. It still is a 5 liter engine, but the fuel is not the best fuel you can buy, but I use it because I want to get fuel everywhere and I want to mix it with E85, so, or ethanol in my case. So because we don't have E85 fuel pumps here in the Netherlands, so that is why I have a base tune in this car. So for the rest, I want to do a little bit of driving, show you a little bit about the acceleration and doing some sound checks of outside of the car with the valve closed and the valve open. And also the valve open and closing makes a lot of difference in power. I can really feel it when I forget to get the exhaust valve open, because then it's going to 1 3-inch outside, and otherwise it's taking 2 3-inch pipes outside. So my complete exhaust from the downpipe from a turbo is from 3.5-inch outside turbo to 4-inch downpipe completely to the back muffler, and then it's split up into 2 times 3-inch. So I can bypass the muffler and then go into 2 times 3-inch. So yeah, pretty good. Also have shift cut installed, so that's also pretty nice. So I will, you can hear the shifting is very hard when I go to manual and go full throttle. You can really hear it. So I'll show you it after the speed bump. So now my exhaust is still closed. So when I now open it, you can hear it, but it makes me very happy. So pretty cool, I think. So with the exhaust closed, it's yeah, still running very, very nice. So that was a pretty nice acceleration, I think. So I also have the 722 V8 off-gear transmission. I have in S mode shifting with full lockup. So because of the shift cut, I leave the lockup fully on. So it shifts harder, but I also raise the line pressure. On the shift pressures are maximum at full throttle. So the shifts are pretty nice. So if I look in the max ECU log, then the shifting time takes about a half a second. But for this transmission it's pretty good. So also in automatic mode it drives pretty good. But yeah, most of the time when I floor it, I do that in manual because I don't want it to surprise me with kickdowns. So I also raise the kickdowns to a higher RPM. But yeah, it pulls massively. The power band is really massive. You got full boost from around 3000 to 3500 RPM, and it pulls up to the rev limit. It's just massive. So I'm really happy with it on even that on normal petrol. It's so addicting, the shifting. But yeah, we can also drive very normally. So I now have put the transmission in just in soft mode and put the exhaust valve closed. And I'm now driving like normal speeds. Normal RPMs. Now the lockup is going in, so I drive around 1300 RPMs at 80 kilometers, just above it, above 70 to 80. So very nice. So I'm pretty happy with the car. Small things need to be done. So the next thing what I'm going to do is clean the complete interior. So I have to, yeah, how you call that, dyeing? I don't know. Dye the interior, dye the leather. I have to clean the leather, put a new fresh color on it. So this seat can just be done by hand. This one I repaired on the side pole, so it's a different kind of red. They stitched a new piece of leather in it because it was broken. So I'm going to paint this seat. Also my armrest is new, so it also needs to be painted, and the rest of the seat will all be restored with the original color. So all the dry cracking in it will all be repaired. So for the rest, the leather is completely in one piece, so not damaged. So that's what I'm going to do the next thing. Get all the fabric and all the caps and everything back in. Of course it needs to be painted, but that I will not do before the winter because that would be stupid, because it's nice weather to drive. So I'm going to drive up till the winter, then I'm going to put the rest of the body kit in the back, so the rear wheel arches need to be done. Yeah, that's and then we will see what color I'm going to paint it. I'm still not sure, but it will be a dark color, that's for sure. So yeah, we will see. Hope you like this short video of a little bit of driving. So I also wanted to do the EAD5 tune, so the ethanol tune, but I have to have a look when I'm going to do it, because I want to do the street tune myself first to get it running on the street. So Daniel does as the most possible work to do, because it's for me also a learning process. So I want to do as much as possible myself, and then we're going to do the same as with this bass tune. And then, then it will be the case of keeping everything. Yeah, I want to be maximum of 1000 Newton meters, because I think it's I want to keep the engine in one part, of course. It's not a race car, it's just a street car. And power wise, I'm not sure yet. I think we can go over 700 horsepower easily, so that would be very fun. So I have not have any experience with ethanol tuning, so we will see how it works out. But I think it will be okay. Just I can learn on the fly, no problem. I also fixed this, so runs pretty good. So hope you liked what you see. If you got any questions, just ask. And see you for the next video. Bye bye.